What's happening? You got the Retro Gaming Hippie coming at you once again with yet another pickup video of various items that I've picked up over the last month, whether it's Goodwill, which is my local thrift store, Facebook Marketplace, like this big item behind me that I'm going to talk about, or other platforms similar to that in yard sales, or even sometimes in this case, I will pick up things, of course, on eBay that I want. So a lot of stuff to cover as usual. It's all kind of spread out. Please stick with me to the end. I'm going to talk about this item behind me last and what's going on with it and whether or not it's going to be in my collection. And I want to hear your thoughts or even your opinions on it. So you can either fast forward to the end or stick to the end as you join me on all this great stuff that I picked up over the last month. So we're going to start off with a platform similar to Facebook Marketplace, but it's called Nextdoor here locally for $90. It's a little modern for me. I don't know much about it, but a good deal is a good deal when I see one. It's two Nintendo, I think these are just regular DS's with cases and chargers. A basic case, they work. This is what they look like. A little too modern for me, but a good deal is a good deal. It also came with a bunch of games. Kirby, Big Ben Hero, Pokemon, all complete, or as complete as these came with back then, because they're not quite the cartridge stuff that I remember. Quite a few games of different variety. I've never been a Pokemon person. I've played some Kirby's. There's some Barbies in here. Probably the most fun game in my opinion. I've never played Super Smash Brothers. See if I already passed it off. But it's this one here that's actually looks like it'd be fun. Hello Kitty 3D Racing. Any kind of little fun racing games like that are fun based on the characters they have. Mario Kart. There's M&M Racing, Shrek Racing, all sorts of different things. And those racing games generally are fun little games. So that was $90. I ended up giving, it was a younger kid, $120 for that. It was a good deal for me, a good deal for them. They got a little extra money and everybody made out happy. So up next, we're going to hit another yard sale that had media. In this case, my favorite movie media, VHS, so I'll pick it up. Up in Smoke, Cheech and Chong. I haven't seen this in years, but Baron Munchausen. I love Terry Gilliam's work, and I do remember that being a good film. Aliens. Great film. All those, no white dust or any powder there. A sealed, and it's really sealed, copy of Wham! Make It Big. I was a big fan of Wham! Back when I was in grade school, as were my friends. I actually saw George Michael in 1987 Tacoma Dome Faith Tour, which was my first major concert I ever saw. Cassette Time, Black Sabbath, Paranoid, and Primus Pork Soda. There is a cassette player here. I haven't fired it up yet, but I'll always pick up cassettes. So all of that media right there was $5, which I thought was a really good deal. Next garage sale had a few more media pieces. Cheech and Chong record and Sanford and Son record. Kudos for all of you that just played the Sanford and Son theme in your head like I did when I saw it. I love the Sanford and Son show. Used to watch it with my dad as a kid. A very beat up erector set. Now the records are in good shape, nothing too major. This is sealed, but there's damage, it's starting to rust on some of the items. So $3 for all that stuff. I figured for $1 that was kind of worth a gamble there. Then we'll move on to our Goodwill, where I find all sorts of fun little things. First up is a strawberry shortcake Wilton cake pan for $4.99. I had the He-Man one before. I gave that to a game shop up in Bellingham many years ago. I recently saw My Little Pony one for the same price. I was waiting for it to drop down a little bit at the end of the month. Not that I couldn't afford it. I don't know. I thought $5 seemed so much. Long story short, it disappeared. So I went ahead and took that one. It's E.T. puzzle for, I think this was $3.99? $4.99. It's probably there from 1982. E.T. somewhere amongst all those stuffed animals. A 1960s basketball game. Little spring-loaded tabs would make the basketball go up in the air. Two little cardboard net hoops on each side to put it in. That was $8, and it is complete. That's something I think my cat would enjoy watching me play, or would watch the ball go up in the air. A modern stuffy of Dr. Robotnik. I did pick up some more of these Sonic stuffies in the past. If you've seen my videos at the Goodwill, this was $4.99. Pretty cool little guy there. VHS for $0.25 there. Alien. Good film. Great, hilarious comedy, Half Baked. Never watched the show, but I'll start watching it now that I have cable. Season finale of Xena. And some 70s horror schlock. I just dig that cover there. Psychomania. Really wasn't sure if that's what it was because the label is not on this tape, but the tape's not really long. But I did fire it up and watch it for a bit, and it is a 70s horror British film. Not gory, just kind of one of those ones with lots of fog, mist, and eerie music. Alien paperback for 99 cents. No pictures in this. A little more modern Super Mario Checkers, all complete and in good shape for $5.99. My favorite piece that I got from Goodwill, something I never had with as a kid, but I played with as a kid. It's a very beat up for $7.99 laser tag game setup. The laser tag game kit. It came with a sensor, the chest protector to put the sensor on, and a gun, which this is all there. It looks to be in good shape. I haven't fired it up yet. Never had as a kid. I had BB Gun Wars. My friends did have it. They let us play with it. So now I know what I'm going to dress up for as Halloween. And last but not least, the Goody Wheel did have some video game stuff. In this case, it was a white Wii for $9.99. It came with the AV and power hookups. No bonus game, but I haven't fired up to see if there's anything preloaded on it. $4.99 for this setup. Very nice controllers. Same with this one. I like how they rubber band these together and now sell them together as one piece. This does have a separate battery pack on it, but they're both in really good shape. A little Garfield cup from 1978 McDonald's. Nice and thick for 69 cents. And a boxed Wii nunchuck for $3.99, which is obviously in really good shape. Then we're going to move on to one more garage sale I forgot about. And these are 12 from 1986, 87, 12 or 13. Not really my thing, but they are My Little Pony. No combs, but in decent shape. And one of these is, I think, what they call a briar. I offered him $12 for it. It's probably a really good deal, I'm sure. I haven't really looked him up. I don't really do that. I just know for $1 a piece, somebody else will probably value these as trade or even buy for more than $1 a piece. So they will sit in my storage unit, which is getting ever so full until we do some kind of event. These are kind of cool, and these are the bright ones with little stickers, or I don't know. Somebody out there probably knows more about it, and they can tell me that that's a super rare, sparkly rocket one, right? Last but not least, a couple of little small ones. Now we're going to turn our world over to modern figures, and I bought a few of these modern figures. I'm not much of a modern figure guy, but I'm really sold to a certain degree on the NECA Ben Cooper costume line. So I went out and picked up this series, which has Pee Wee Herman. I've talked about these before. They're cool little figures. I really like what they did with them. I don't collect them all. I'll get a few. They're pricing me out a little bit, but I do like them. Garfield. Love that orange costume. Been finding a lot of this guy's stuff lately, but Alf from Melmac. And last but not least in this series is Predator. They're just starting to price me out when I pre-order them. They do have a couple of D&D ones that I'll probably pick up because I really like D&D. But other than that, like there's Kiss that just came out. Not really going to be my style anymore. Now we're going to jump over to eBay, right? But eBay has some great items out there for people. If you're a collector like me, it's something you want. You're going to go, you can find a good price. You can find a good price on things. First up, we got winter coming up. Had to get some new blankets. Of course, I'm a single guy. Ladies, back off. We went with the Pac-Man sleeping bag. Really, really good shape. No major tears. Not big, not thick. I don't really need thick, but I need something bigger, of course. So I had to get another sleeping bag. In this case, a Super Mario sleeping bag. Hard for me to get a good shot. All the graphics, nice setup. But I'll zip those together and make me a nice little winter blanket. Or later on, use it down the road at a show or something as a tablecloth setting. I'm right around $75, with shipping and taxes. I think on each of those, $60, $70 off eBay. Good price to me. Beautiful graphics. I just really love how they look. One more thing for Evil Bay, and then we'll get on to the big item behind me. In this case, it's Halloween time. VHS being my favorite format. It was time to get the Halloween series as close as I could, all of the originals on VHS. And so for $80 shipped, or about $10 a piece, I got Halloween 2. Halloween, the original, of course. Another run of it. There's 3 copies of Halloween, just in different formats they've released them out. H2O, which is about as new as I think I've seen, and it was enjoyable. Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. All of this is what y'all watch as I do my countdown to Halloween. Up the camera there, sorry about that. Halloween 3 I'll have to pick up. I've never seen that before. And then The Curse of Michael Myers. I'll pick that up and make my Halloween run. Last but not least, let's get to this item right here. Now this is circa 1978, 1979, as you can tell by the uniform on this guy, Larry Bird. This is the Little Sport Larry Bird, 3-foot rim, basketball setup with a foam ball. This is complete. It's an open box, but it is complete as the pictures I've seen. I haven't opened it up yet, and we'll get into why. I was a big fan of basketball of this era, the 80s especially. This was a little early for me, obviously, to get it as a kid, but I just loved the Larry Bird graphics. I had Nerf hoops, things like that. This was listed about 100 miles away from me, and it was listed originally 150, which I think was a great deal. I don't really drive really far and stuff, so I waited. They came down to 100 with $50 shipped via Marketplace. I've never done Marketplace shipping before, but hey, you know, $50, yeah, $150, this is a good deal. $50 sounded high for the shipping, but if they put it in a box or they put it in wrapping, and as big as it is, even though it was going a short distance, it was probably going to be $35, $40 maybe for shipping. And I certainly don't mind giving $10, $20 for their time. So we did that. I didn't have that conversation with them. I just agreed to the price. They shipped it. Well, when it arrived, I'd seen some things here I'm going to point out. And I texted them, messaged them and said, it came a little bit damaged here. I think I'm going to issue a refund of request. What I'm talking about is they chose obviously not to wrap it. This is the original box. It wasn't sealed. It was opened at one point. They did tape the end of it. I have not opened it since then to look at the contents until I get through this situation. But the box was not an original sealed box, but it didn't have these stickers on it. They put this sticker on it and this sticker on it with the address. These will probably come off okay, maybe. But because they didn't wrap it, the post office then put this one on here, which I know definitely won't come off very good. And the marker here as well, I think is probably from the post office because that wasn't there. So that being said, it does devalue the item greatly, especially because it's such a great product. Well, when I reached out and just said I was going to request a refund, they messaged me back a very long, basically they didn't agree with what I said, followed up by another one kind of like it before I responded, and then they blocked me. So currently, Facebook Marketplace is got my request refund, and we'll see what that happens. So give me your thoughts. What would you do in that situation? Am I kind of getting over the line? Some of the things the seller remarked was, I did agree to the $50. Sure, I did. $50. It only cost him $13.45. Honestly, if he'd have put this in a box and all of that, I wouldn't have cared if he made $30 in his own pocket, as long as they had shipped it right, is all I was kind of saying. I don't mind paying for your time. So anyway, let me know what you think about that. I'm the Retro Gaming Hippie. I don't buy nostalgia because I am nostalgia. Y'all take care of yourselves out there.